What's up, everybody? It's Red Element, and I'm on the RedCraft server again, and we are going to continue with part 2 of the dye quest. And today I'm going to be planting a lot of those cactus back there, as well as some of these right here. We're going to get a sea pickle and a cactus farm going, and that'll get us our lime and our green. And that should be the last thing we need in order to finish out having all of the dyes. So I'm actually going to have it put here on the factory island. This is something that I built quite a while ago and never actually got around to finishing. But I've been meaning to get back to it for a while now. It's kind of been an abandoned project. I never finished building the structure around it or anything like that. I was never quite sure what I was going to do with the design. I'm going to get started here. I'm probably going to build the cactus farm first. It's not the most complex farm, but it's certainly the most labor intensive, because in order to get decent rates, it's got to be fairly big, because there's some loss. Items will, as the cactus pops off, it might fall back on itself, and then that of course destroys the item, so you got some loss there. But the design that I'm going with is really good about minimizing that, but you still have to build it pretty big. And like I said, this is where I'm going to come for mass amounts of items. So it's going to be a decent amount of work. But I think I can, since it's pretty, design-wise it's simple, it's just big. So I think I can build one up pretty quickly. That way we can also knock out a sea pickle farm in this episode, because the sea pickle farm is somewhat complex on the redstone side, but it's much smaller with high rates, so a lot easier to knock out. But I want to get both of those done, and if there's time, then I'm going to also go ahead and knock out a smelter, super smelter in here, so that way I can go ahead and smelt the sea pickles and limes as they're producing for the dye. Because while I will use sea pickles for lighting the oceans, because eventually these sea lanterns in the water are going to go, I like sea pickles in the water. It's a more natural light. It doesn't look out of place. I'm mostly going to use it for lime dye, because I do have an idea for a shop that I want to do, kind of a Home Depot kind of a thing, but I'll explain that more later in a future video. This isn't going to produce super fast. Learn how to place a block. Since it's not going to produce super fast, I think it's going to be fine just to kind of stick a hopper in there, and I think it'll be able to keep up. If it doesn't, then we'll do something different. With that in place, I'm now ready to start building my cactus platforms going up. Now, I shouldn't have placed all this water, because I'm going to have to kind of build some stuff and set up a basic platform. I'm going to be using a lot of scaffolding, and the water's going to make that a little bit more of a pain. But it is what it is. I've already done it. I'm not going to undo it. And I'm just going to lie in the bed that I made. Sometimes it's real nice to just do these repetitive kind of farms where there's not a whole lot going on, and you can just kind of place blocks layer by layer. I do like doing real big redstone projects, but they can get to be a lot sometimes. So, real nice simple little task like this, just one block after the other. And so far this is going along pretty well. I keep having to run back and make more material, but other than that, I mean, it's moving along pretty quickly. The farm's actually already producing a little bit, and I'm sure it'll kind of pick up as I keep placing cactus. But I'm getting close to halfway done with the first layer, and I think I'm going to do about 6 of these layers. And with 6, I think I'll be producing a fair amount of cactus. At least enough to cover, all my green dye needs. if I would quit doing that. So that has got the first layer finished. Let's take a look at where we're at. Oh yeah. So that's one down. It looks like a mess, but this is actually based on Ilmango's findings on building efficient cactus farms. This little layout here with the fence posts and the end rods is actually going to prevent as many items as possible from falling onto the cactus or impacting the cactus next to it and destroying the items. So as the cactus grows up, it pops off once it gets a block update against that fence post, falls down, ends up in this water stream, and we'll get to our collection point. I'm going to have to obviously build some walls here. I'm going to build a little glass outer cover for it because I do want to be able to see what's going on in here. I might do it in a green or something like that. I don't know yet. And that's it. So now I just got to keep building these layers. 3 layers completely done. Working on the 4th, but I have run out of both end rods and sandstone to make the walls. And I'm not low on sand, but since I'm gonna have to go collect sandstone, I might as well carry some empty shulkers and kind of replenish my sand supply. But I'm gonna run off and do that, and I'm going to kill a few more blazes in the nether. That way I can make some more end rods. I think I might stop after this layer here because it's already getting pretty tall, and I just collected this a few minutes ago, and you can see what I have on my hotbar here as far as cactus. So let's see what's been produced. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I collected this like probably less than 2 minutes ago, and it went from 17 to 42. So that's with 3 layers. I think this additional 4th layer is going to produce a lot of cactus, and I don't think I'll need to go any higher than that. So I'm going to run out and collect that stuff. Then I can smelt down the extra cactus that I've got from where it produced while I was building it. And then over here, probably directly beside this, I'm going to start work on the sea pickle farm. But I'm going to run off and take care of that, and we'll get back to it. And it is finished. I ended up going 4 layers deep, as you can see. I've got the glass all the way around so that cactus is no longer dropping on the edges, and I got a hopper and dropper in there to go ahead and start setting up to send it into the collection system with deal with that in a minute, which it goes into the collection system. So I'm going to send it through right here. It should tie up with that one nicely. I'm also going to build the sea pickles not right there. The sea pickles are going to go over here. I'm going to fill that in with dirt and build them pretty much right here. Their water stream will connect up to this one right here. So theoretically, this farm will always be running. There's no way to shut this off. This just happens. But the sea pickles I can manually turn on and off. So I could send both through at the same time, but I'll be making dye out of both lime and green dye at the same time. But that's neither here nor there. Either way, that's done. I'm going to put the sea pickle farm up now, and then I think I'm going to call this episode after that. I'm not going to worry about really tapping it into the collection yet until I've come to a decision, and the time I'll spend building the sea pickle farm will be a good chance to actually decide on that. So I'm going to get cracking on this, and then once that's done, we'll kind of review, check out our rates and all that good stuff. Um, I might go through and collect up sea lanterns out of water around here and replace them with sea pickles. I'm not 100% yet, but let's get popping on that. This is finished up 100%, and I was about to start on the sea pickle farm, which, as you can see, I've made no progress on because look at that. Look, all that conveyor is missing. That's on purpose. So the upward facing smart pistons didn't work in 1.15.2. So I had to build this style because the bud piston updates changed, and then 1.16 further broke it. So this is the workaround for zero ticking blocks up. But now this is also broken. So take a look and I'll show you what's... Oh my god, I can't fly today. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, so with this system, blocks come in here, it's then here, pushed by this piston into this one, which then ticks to this one, which then sends blocks up. So look at that, nothing. And it's not just that either. This is actually suffering from the same problem that the Super Bud pistons were suffering from as far as raising blocks, and it's that right there. So what I'm gonna have to do is destroy this, move both of these over one, and destroy this and make a new super speed bud that Ilmango has put out. So the new super speed bud will actually take the block stream coming in right at its face and send the blocks directly upwards without this redirection of the blocks. I'm gonna rebuild a super speed bud here and here. Change this whole setup up. I've already moved this one over one, so all the rest of this should be pretty good. I just built a super speed here, and I'll have to build another one there. And I'll also, I don't think I've moved, no I haven't. I need to move both of these over by one block. But I'm going to start with this one because this one's the more straightforward. I build a super speed bud, send the blocks up into there, and then it just goes back to working, and then boom, I fixed this. This is finally done. It was kind of a pain. I messed up a couple of times, but finally got it going. And this is the super speed bud that Ilmango designed to work with 1.16 because of the changes with redstone that happened. The old ones just didn't work anymore. So this is a lot bulkier than that system over there, but this system works. That system's broken, so it doesn't matter if it's bulkier, it works. And it's kind of hard to tell because I used some white concrete in my block stream. Let me run some basalt through there. So this is 100% functional again, and it is zero ticking. Well, not zero, that's actually 3 game ticks, but it works with this system. As you can see, it is pushing my blocks through, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. And that's all that matters. So, now what I've got to do, and which isn't as big of a deal since I've built one of these now, is I have to go over there and build it. But I'm gonna have to do a little something special with this because, let me show you, this stream right there, that is 13 blocks. right there to right there. Now if I was just going to put the super speed bud right here to replace this, all of these conveyors would have to move over one. And if I do that, these blocks never make it. So I'm still going to have to do a little bit of redirection and kind of tweak this block stream. I'm going to have to put a zero tick in that will divert these over that way by one, the same way the system currently does, and then super speed bud it right here. That's kind of annoying. I wish I had built either this one block to the left or that one over, but the reason I did this was so that I was unsure about this system here, about this block conveyor that sent the logs up to turn it into the single block stream. So I was having so many problems at first that I made these intentionally 13 blocks away. That way if it locked up, it didn't cause problems out here where I'd have to parkour all over the place and trying to fix it. But now it's coming back to bite me in the ass. So it is what it is. I'm in this position now, so I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to build my super speed bud first right here, because regardless of whatever I have to do over here, this is where these blocks need to go up. So I can tear all this out, put the super speed over that bud over there, and then we're good. And then I just need to put a little horizontal transition in here. Alright, so here's an inside look at my process, I guess. Normally when I'm doing these videos, when I'm actually doing all my recording and building and all of that stuff, it's probably around between 2 and 5 o'clock in the morning. And the reason for that is that first of all, I have children that go to school, so, and because of COVID and everything, they're all doing their school at home, so I have to be dealing with that throughout the day. But the other reason is in North Carolina, especially here on the coast where I live, it is blazing hot throughout the day, and my air conditioner right now is struggling to keep up, so it just gets scorching hot in this house. And I don't like the heat. I never have. I don't like summer. I've always preferred winter. The colder the better. When our winters actually manage to get down to freezing temperatures, that's when I'm the happiest. I don't mind the house being warm. We keep it about 65 during the winter on the inside. But when it's freezing cold outside, even if it gets too hot in the house, I can step outside and I'm, good to go for another 20-30 minutes. But if the house gets hot in summer, there's no respite outside. I can go outside and just be hotter. And that frustrates the hell out of me. So when things like this start confusing me and I'm getting like turned around as to how it should be built, that just, it annoys me to no end. So right now, even though this is a fairly simple build, it's not a fairly simple, it is a simple build, and I should be able to bang it out real quick, but it's not working out, and that is just pissing me off way more than it should be. So hopefully I can get this done kind of quickly. That way I don't end up way too frustrated and just having to record part of this during the day and part of this at night. And we're done with that. Alright, so we've got our super speed bud going on here. And yeah, just finished testing it out. Look at that. So now I've just got to set up my little half turn stream over there, and this will be set back up, and then I can test the whole system. I already know I'm good from this point right over there, not there, that one all the way to the TNT blast chamber. It's this one and this little setup I'm about to make now. I need to make sure I can turn that on and never have any hiccups, because oh man, I don't want to have to rebuild most of this stuff, because that's gonna just be a thing. I was actually sitting here just kind of overcomplicating what I needed to do. All I really needed to do was, I mean, just kind of zero ticket over here, and I was going to do some clever design that used less materials, but honestly, why would I really... Oh, come on. Of course. Of course I placed it that way. But what I was doing was trying to find something real clever, and there was really no reason for it, because all I need is just a zero tick going this way and a zero tick going this way, and then I'm done. Yeah. And this thing's pretty fast, so it needs to be pretty quick. I think that's why I was sitting here trying to overcomplicate it. I was worried that it was going to back this up and just cause me to have to repair a bunch of stuff, but I don't think it's actually going to be a problem. I should just be able to take and stick some pistons like this, and that's not the right place for that concrete. It needs to be like that. Yeah, I do still have scaffold on me, so I'm wasting a lot of time running back and forth. I could just do that. Alright. So these aren't going to be the lag friendliest of smart pistons, because I'm not using the furnace and comparators and all that jazz. But they'll work, and that's what matters. So that's not right. Like that. Yeah, like that, and then here, and then I'll fall down, because of course I do. So target block there, and then I just need like this for the redstone. Bop, bop, bop. That's one. And then this one would be a target block there. Then we have concrete there, and there. Like that. And redstone dust. So I'll come in here, pop this over, and then it'll immediately zero ticket that way, and then they go this way, and then up. Now if this fails, or if this is too fast for this, it's going to push that stuff. It won't go over there and damage that, but it'll ruin this, and I'll be extremely pissed off. But we're going to test this out live. You just watched me build it, and we're going to see if it breaks. That's working. Oh shit. Hell yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, thanks, Lizzie. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. And just like that, problem solving happening today. So we have fixed this, we fixed that. I even got to use the target block, which I haven't had much use for recently, and I've been kind of wanting to use it since its introduction, but I just haven't had the occasion. And just like that, we got our occasion. So I can smash this down and that, and I'll have to relight all this stuff, because I had these other ones all lit and spawn proofed, but since I've added these walls and a couple of other things. This place isn't spawn proof anymore, but that's something that's on the agenda. But now that we've got this corrected, I feel better, so now I can actually get started on this pickle farm. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and build the pickle farm, and once that's done, I am for sure going to end this episode, because that will end the die quest. That we've got everything we need except for the sea pickles at this point. Builds like this are exactly why I love this wrench mod. So before, I was using the Vanilla Tweaks data pack that gave you terracotta and redstone rotation. This actually works for everything, and unlike the data pack, anything with the MBT data isn't lost. They may have updated it and fixed it, but I had no end of trouble with that. This is actually a mod for Spigot, and the reason I love it is because of that. Look at that. What a pain in the ass placing observers can be, especially in cramped, tight confines like this, and this just works. And just like that, the sea pickle farm is built. This is Il Mango's design as well. It's pretty much my go-to for anytime I actually need to build one of these things. And let me real quick take care of these pests that have arrived. So I've still got to put a floor around it and all that stuff, but all I did was stick a stack of bone meal in here right now, and I haven't actually tested this yet. Yeah, I did put the bone meal in there. So we will hit our on-off switch. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. That's a damn dropper and not a dispenser. Ugh. Can I reach that from here? Yeah. Son of a bitch. Alright, so we've got our dispenser now. And I'm gonna need this to get that thing even placed properly. Alright, so the dispenser is now in. No, there we go. Sea pickles. I guess that's all the sea pickles I got. I did only recover 5 bone meal. Okay, I went and got another stack of bone meal because I wanted to give this a proper test. Alright. The problem is the damn pickles are going everywhere but the collection point. I'm getting all these pickles thrown out here. What did I have before? 4? Look at that. That's a stack. What pickles are going down into there? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to put blocking around that, I guess. But as long as it's working, that's what matters. I'll sort out any problems with the collection later. This at least gets me where I need to be as far as generating pickles. So that is officially done and working. All that's left, I gotta tear down my little system here, do some flooring work around here, kind of cleaning up the look of and aesthetic of all this. Probably hide a lot of that. And get this wired up to the front. But all in all, it came together pretty nicely. It didn't take very long to build. The main hang up with that particular farm is always the minecarts that are sitting under the coral blocks. I don't care how many times I look, I'll always build this thing misaligned to where those are a pain to get put in. But these two farms right here officially end the dye quest. We have renewable sources of all the dyes in the game now, and I'm pretty pleased with that. So this is Red Element, and that's going to do it for today's episode. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, maybe subscribe. If not, well, maybe next time. But that's going to do it for today. Take it easy.